My lovely Leos, this is your horoscope for March 2025. In March, we will have amazing two eclipses. They are so positive. Yes, eclipses can be positive, and seems like gifts from the universe for all of us. These eclipses will bring positive news, positive changes, because as you might know, eclipses, they are perfect tools of the universe to lift us up as fast as possible and to the better self, to better life, better future. Now, eclipses happen and they usually bring once in a lifetime circumstances, once in a lifetime situations, and we will check what those eclipses mean exactly for you, my dear Leos. Now, even though we will have two personal planets retrograding whole March, Venus and Mercury, meaning, Venus is planet of beauty. So no go to surgeries, no go to plastic surgeries, especially, and some radical changes to your appearance because you might not like the result at all. You might want to change it afterwards if you're gonna do it. So if you can, postpone all the procedures, medical procedures, beauty procedures, because Mercury is also retrograding. Now, of course, if it's urgency situation, we do all those things, but if it's not, better to postpone, my dear Leos. Now, Venus will retrograde from 2nd of March until 13th of April. Venus retrogrades every a year and a half, like 18 months, and for 40 days, 40 nights, meaning we will need to hold ourselves not to rush this decisions, especially with your appearance, because it's a beauty planet, and also it's a planet of values. Seems like Venus wants us reevaluate some things there, and for you specifically, it will be your ninth house of travel, house of foreign lands and people, all the foreign relationships. Now, Venus is retrograding in your ninth house, and meaning you might actually visit back to some people, contact back some people that you've known before and that you valued before, actually. But you somehow lost, let's say, contact with them, or you might actually travel to those places where you've been before, or simply missing, past sort of places and what you owned, let's say. Now, after end of March, like by the end of March, to be exact, 27th of March, when Venus retrogrades, meaning moving backwards, it will crawl back into your eighth house of money, other people's money that come to you. And here now, Venus is planet not only beauty and values, it's also planet of money. Now here you might change some things, you might go back to some things related to family budget, for example, like how you manage money with your wife or with your husband, what is like who is like putting in and putting out more and all this stuff. You might restructure their things, or you might get simply busy with bank loans if you have them, or if you've been trying to get one. Then Venus here will give you let's say a lot of work around this time. So whole second half of April you might get busy with let's say your investments, your, let's say, bank loans. Investments are also eighth house, especially related to those all types of financial instruments like cryptos, shares, if you're involved with that. And also eighth house is a house of mystical house. It's a house of conception also. Now Venus here might give you some thoughts, reevaluations about your mental state, about your inner state, because eighth house, it's actually a house of crisis sort of. And but eighth house might also mean something healing, something sort of magical. And conception journey is here. If that's your topic, then Venus might give you back all these thoughts and in general some workarounds there. Now, Mercury also will be in the same chart retrograding hand in hand with Venus, almost like a inseparable duo. Now on 15th of March, Mercury goes retrograde too in your 9th house, starting from your 9th house and crawling back into your 8th house, same as Venus. Now Mercury, planet of communication and planet of all things that we speak, right? And during Mercury retrograde, usually all those mishaps and misinformation and I don't know, canceling some meetings, or people tend to be forgetful, people tend to be confused, all these things happen. And especially if you travel, because Mercury is retrograding in your travel house, 9th house, together with Venus. So double check if you travel during March or April. Double check all the details of your travel. Make sure you are on time at the airport, so not to miss that. And in general, with all the bookings related to travel things and even documents. Now, 9th house is also, house of legal things. You might hear back some news, or you might need to resubmit some papers. If you, no matter if that's your occupation or you are involved in some lawsuit, you might get busy and Mercury might bring some news from that case of yours. Now, 9th house is also house of education. Those of you who are studying or researching some things, Mercury will give you chance to look at your work that you're doing or at your research with the sort of second time, with a more clear, let's say, mind, because Mercury will give you sort of time to rework some things. If you are not satisfied with some things there related to your work that you writing, researching, or educating, let's say, yourself, you might dig back, to some information. Fact checking will be very, very helpful here for you. Now, Mercury, by the end of March, on 30th of March, will move back into your 8th house. Now, 8th house is, as I said, about money. And here, a lot of news might be coming in related to inheritance, related to investments, or your tax situation, tax return, or banks and loans, all these things. Now, if your situation related with alimony, let's say you are receiving alimony, you might start receiving back, or you might need to submit some documents related to that. And in general, if you're involved with the bank loan, like funding something, let's say, it doesn't matter if you're an investor or you want to invest into something, or you are waiting some financial help from a government to your business or some funding sort of sources, those things might come forth here, and Mercury will give you chance to rework some things there around your 8th house. Now, Venus and Mercury will almost finish their retrogrades at the same degree in your 8th house. Mercury will retrograde until 7th of April. So pretty much the same time. Now, even though these two planets, they are personal planets, we feel them the most, meaning through the situations in life, through people. They are more manifested directly in our life. So even though these things will be happening, seems like universe is gifting us these two big amazing eclipses that we will talk about. They are amazing, my dear Leos, and in general, your chart seems like focused totally focused on your part of your life where you, let's say, related to foreigners, to foreign land, far lands, and also meaning of life. You know, you're so much focused on your meaning of life, sort of where to direct why you are here, let's say, on this planet. This kind of thoughts might be going through your mind whole March and April. Now, always check your rising sign and moon sign too. Now, most of the time, I mean, always, horoscopes are written for rising sign. And also check your moon sign, because moon sign can be strong too, to get the full picture of the month, and especially with eclipses. Now, I will make a whole separate video on eclipses to go much into details, because they deserve, you know, separate videos. They are amazing, perfect ones to harness their powers. They will bring amazing news. And you know, stay tuned for those videos. Now, first one, 14th of March, we have full moon lunar eclipse. Now, full moons, they are endings, or they put some light into some situation. Now, you know, lunar, these eclipses, they are 10 times stronger than regular full moons or regular new moons. They are very strong and they are influential even during 3 months before they appear and 3 months after they appear. So allow eclipses 6 months time to manifest in your life. But it's usually, you know, something very once in a lifetime we do, you know, something happen. Eclipses bring situations that change our life direction, that they are correcting it to the better life, to the better destiny, and to better future. Always remember that. Now, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your second house, house of earned income and money. Now, those of you who are born 15th of August, plus or minus 5 days, you will feel the most this full moon lunar eclipse, but we will all get the news because it's eclipse. Now, if you have like at 23 degree any planet or placement in Virgo, you will feel this eclipse the most too. This eclipse will have a boost from Uranus and Mars. Those two planets, they will support this eclipse. And Uranus's planet of surprises will be located in your career house, you know, in the highest chart, in the highest point of your chart. And Mars will be located in your 12th house, house of spirituality and subconscious mind, and house of rest and past. Now, you see, this eclipse is happening in your financial house. Seems like you might finally get some, let's say, job offer if you've been trying and applying, let's say, and if you've been in talks with some company. Seems like you will seal the deal around this time, mid of March, and it will enhance your reputation. It will suddenly rise your reputation and in general your influence, and it will add up to your social status. Like everyone all of a sudden will respect you, let's say, may pay more respect on you. And Mars is in your 12th house. Seems like whatever that like a job offer or position or upgrade, you know, is happening, that will be happening somewhere far, like in some, I don't know, it might even include a relocation package. Like for you, if it's a new job offer, then it will come with relocation package, plus with a lot of responsibilities, because Saturn will oppose that eclipse. But no worries, and Uranus and Mars will mitigate this Saturn's effect. So Saturn will be gently reminding there about the responsibilities, about working hard. And it seems like, you, for example, you might not like the schedule, let's say, of this work. It's not like you might not like, but it won't be so comfortable. For example, you've been home office before, but now you got this job, you like this job, and it adds up your reputation, plus it's money. But then you will have to go to office every day, like 9 to 5, something like this, you know. So Saturn sort of brings this structured schedule there, routine. And because Saturn rules your work house and daily life house, so daily you will need to go somewhere and work, let's say. Plus it will remind you about some sort of financial responsibilities in front of your family, like husband or wife or kids. Or if you have bank loans, it will also, you will, how to say, you will need to pay for them. And at the same time, but you know, the most important of this eclipse is that you will be happy with whatever news will be coming, because seems like you already wanted this thing and you've been working towards it. No matter if it's a position, if it's a new job offer, new source of money, sort of, it doesn't matter what is your work, actually, what's your occupation. But this Uranus, surprise a moment, it will be amazing. It will send amazing support to that full moon, and it will make it mild, that Saturn's effect on us. And Mars also together will work together with Uranus to help universe to bring this to you. Now it's amazing one, it's a very positive eclipse, so use this eclipse around this time. Now ruler of this eclipse will be in your ninth house of foreign lands conjunct Venus. You know, whatever is coming, you will enjoy it greatly, and it seems like it will be involved with foreign clients or people, or like that job or whatever like offer you will have at the table will involve working with foreigners, working with, I don't know, with foreign affairs, let's say, or education. Let's say if you are a teacher or mentor, maybe it's a foreign university that you get a job offer to, for example, or like they will be inviting you to teach you there, for example, too. Now, if your situation, let's say if you're a student, then it might be actually that you get a scholarship here for your studies, and you might go to study abroad, let's say. Anyhow, we will talk about in a great detail about this eclipse in the separate video, so stay tuned. And let's talk quickly about second eclipse that is happening also in March, because you know eclipses, they come in pair always, 2 weeks apart. And 29th of March we have new moon solar eclipse. Now this eclipse is amazing one of a kind, you know, one of a positive one. I've never seen such an eclipse for a long time. This is perfect one. There are no, you can't believe, like there are no negative aspects. All there is positive aspect, and I call this eclipse specifically destined one, because a lot of karmic planets, a lot of destiny planets are playing out during this eclipse, second one. And it's happening at 8 degrees, meaning those of you who are born 31st of July, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most, and I'm happy for you. We all will get the news of this eclipse because it's highly positive, highly destined, you know. It's about fate, something fated is happening here. Now this eclipse will happen in your ninth house of foreign lands. You see this, your ninth house, broadening sort of mind house. This is ninth house is about, you know, where we look for meaning of our life, either through education to broaden our mind, either through travel, either through, you know, some mentors, some teachers. And here you might meet someone. This eclipse might bring into your life someone who you want to be looking like, and from who you would want to learn a lot. And that person might teach you quite a lot of things so that your mind is getting expanded. And those of you who are students especially, you will have amazing opportunity to get into your dreamed university, to get into studies, like to go abroad to studies. Pluto, planet of transformation, will support this eclipse from your house of signing contracts, seventh house, and dealerships from other people's house. And the ruler of this eclipse, Mars, will also receive positive beams from Saturn and Uranus. Those are two another karmic planets, again, you see, and Mars will be located in your 12th house, the most private house, and Saturn will be in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is also spirituality and privacy house, and Uranus will be in your 10th house. Now, this Uranus is in your career house, in your social status house, and this is stellar one. Seems like, you see, these spiritual houses are playing out in your chart. Now, solar eclipse is happening in your 9th house, like searching for meaning of life, and the ruler of eclipse, Mars, is in your subconscious mind house, and Saturn is in your most mystical house, 8th house. Now you see all this spirituality topic coming forth here by the end of March. As I said, always allow eclipses 3 months before, 3 months after to manifest. Someone special might come into your life as your mentor, as a teacher, from whom you might learn a lot, or you might, immigrate somewhere. If that was your wish, now that wish is getting granted, my dear Leos. Seems like you might travel somewhere, or you might totally change location of your living. And that one will be, changing country, not a city, but country. And Pluto is supporting it from your marriage house. If you have a husband or wife, those people will support you greatly, and they will also move together with you. Let's say something profound here is happening now. 9th house is also house of legal affairs. If you're involved in legal case, here it seems like you will have a chance to win that case. Just so you know. Now, if your wish was about publishing something, let's say a book or a research or some article, again, you will have all the positivity and all the support from universe on your side. Seems like your book or your masterpiece will be bestseller, my dear Leos. Whatever you're gonna receive here, it will add up to your reputation and your influence, because Uranus is in your 10th house. Now, also, 9th house is about, grandchildren. If you are at that age, you might get the news that you're becoming a grandmother or grandfather. Now, 9th house is also a house of second marriage. And if that is your case, it seems like you might get wed here, or you might get a proposal from your loved sweetheart to get married, or actually getting married around this time, my dear Leos. And also 9th house, because I said it's related to all things foreign, it's also related all those documents that needs to be done, before you travel, like visas or also citizenships. You might get granted a citizenship or a visa. Like, if you have this kind of things going on, you will get positive news here, my dear Leos. Stellar solar eclipse. Now, anyhow, we will go more into detail on also separate video, so stay tuned. Now, by the end of March, there is another big thing happening. Neptune, planet of imagination and spirituality, March 30th, moving into your 9th house. Same, this 9th house that is so much emphasized in your chart in March. Now, this Neptune is a slow moving planet. It's a karmic planet. It takes 14 years to change sign, meaning this is very, prominent in astrology when these kind of planets, they change sign. Now, Neptune is moving into your ninth house until 22nd of October. It will retrograde back into your 8th house where it spent last 14 years to allow you to finish up some things in that part of your life, and then we'll be back to your ninth house in January 2026 for the long 14 years. Now, here Neptune will give you sort of preview, like movie trailer of what's to come next decade, like next 14 years, my dear Leo. So I advise you to write down and to notice, be aware of what will be happening from end of March until end of October, because Neptune will be in your ninth house. Now, Neptune, is a planet of sort of magic and inspiration, and it's linked to ocean. And here, Neptune will give you boundaryless, sort of, you might travel all the places in the world that you never dreamed of, never knew, and there will be a lot of opportunities for you to broaden your mind, to travel the world, because ninth house is about traveling, is about broadening our mind through traveling, through experiencing different cultures, different backgrounds, different cuisine, like a lot of sort of cultural here mix going to happen. And Neptune, significator of oceans, meaning it will make it sort of, there won't be any boundaries for you to travel wherever you would want to, or even you never even thought of, let's say. Now, ninth house is also house of foreigners, and Neptune is a planet of unconditional love, and it seems like it might bring a love into your life in the face of a foreigner, and that person might be from a totally different background than yours. If that is your wish, and if you're single, then this thing might happen here. Now, Neptune, for the last 14 years, it's spent in your 8th house since 2011, 2012. And you might, reflect on last 14 years, what was going on while Neptune was there in your 8th house. 8th house is a house of healing, it's a house of also critical situations. And Neptune here gave you sort of help, to perceive life crisis more under mild, let's say, perception, because Neptune makes us more inspirational, more, let's say, imaginatory, sort of pink glasses, and whatever was happening in your life, you could have perceived it as something magical, as something spiritual, let's say. Now, 8th house is also a house of investments. For the past 14 years, you might have doubled or even tripled or even tenfold at your investments, because Neptune is, like, as I said, no boundaries planet. And if you are involved with investments, Neptune could have helped you a lot with those, making your money more. And the 8th house is also house of esoterics, like psychology and mystical house. You might have gotten involved into this kind of topics like astrology, tarot cards, all these things, or psychology. You might have gotten to be a professional psychologist, let's say, or therapist in the past 14 years, because Neptune is a spirituality planet and it was in your spiritual house, my dear Leos. Now, I will make about this Neptune also separate video where we will go into details what was going on for the whole world historically, because last time Neptune was in your ninth house, it was back in 19th century. in 1861 until 1875. So we will talk about what was going on historically for the whole planet, for whole humanity. So what to expect actually next 14 years for us now, and also through all the zodiac signs. So stay tuned about this too. This is once in a lifetime transit. You would want to listen for this one, my dear Leos. I wish you amazing March. Love you all. Bye bye.